My next guest is going to be taking on Tom O'Connor coming up here at Unified 46, September 23rd. It's Tim Shady Smith joining me here on the program. Tim, how are you?
Doing well, brother. Doing great. Thanks. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for joining me, man. Big fight coming up here. When did you find out? It looked like you got plenty of notice.
Yeah, I had good notice for this fight. Got to get in a full camp. Found out, like 8 weeks out before the fight. So it was perfect timing.
Yeah, and I know the Canadian scene's, fairly small for the most part. I think most people know everyone. Did you know a lot about Tom before taking this fight, or was he someone you had to go and look up?
No, I know who Tom is. He's pretty known on the Canada scene. So.
Okay. Yeah. No, I always wonder that as well. We got to quickly talk about your last fight, man. What a win that was over Curtis DeMars. Just how satisfying was that victory over a guy who has a lot of experience like yourself?
Great fight. Definitely one of my favorite fights. We went bell to bell, toe to toe. I had a lot of family and friends there come out and support me in the crowd and stuff like that. So it was just the perfect fight for a night like that.
How much are you feeding off that win going into the fight? Because again, I think a lot of people expected Curtis to win that. You went out there and you spoiled the party.
Well, every fight's a new fight for me, but definitely coming off a win like that, knowing I got the gas tank to go, the full distance under pressure like that. Like Tom's a pressure fighter, and Curtis was putting some pressure on me, and just knowing that I got the cardio and the gas tank to push through that and push through some adversity in that fight and make it through, and still feeling good at the end of the fight, definitely plays into the confidence. And there's always momentum coming off a win going into the next fight.
And O'Connor, obviously an up-and-comer. How do you feel like you match up against him in this fight?
It's a good fight. I like Tom. He's a great fighter. Definitely a fan of his when he's fighting. And I think our styles match up, and it's going to be an exciting fight.
Training camp, where are you training right now? Who are some of the main training partners helping you get ready for this one?
I'm with United AFC Fight Team. We train at Dynamis Kickboxing and Octagon BJJ. With the Atma brothers, Izzy, Bara and Emad, John Newen, who just fought Tom O'Connor. We got a bunch of up-and-coming youngsters coming up on the scene. Dylan Skellenberg, John Moore, Little Gabe. We got a good, strong team, and we're led by great coaches. And I also do my strength and conditioning with Kenny Dussault from Dussault Strength and Conditioning. I work with Josh Hill for my mental performance coach at the Serbial champion, and I'm working with Coach TJW for my nutrition performance.
Cool. So firing on all cylinders, which is awesome, man. You mentioned your teammate fighting Tom. How much insight have you sort of got from that? Does that help, or is that, I guess, everyone's a different fighter, so I don't know. Does that play a role in this fight at all, in your opinion?
It does to a certain extent. Like every fight's different, but I mix it up with John all the time in training, and he's highly talented. He's a really good fighter. And Tom beat him. I just think Dragon gassed out a bit in that fight. He wasn't ready for that pressure, didn't put the extra work in to go to that rounds, but he's winning the first 2 rounds in that fight. So, I get a little bit of insight for him for the fight. It's going to be a different fight, but I think it helps play into my game, having my teammate that just fought him.
You talk about a lot of up-and-comers in your gym. How crucial is that in camp to get those different looks and have guys that are, still trying to prove themselves, so they'll give you maybe that extra push that you wouldn't get from some other teammates?
It's definitely a huge factor for me right now, being 39 years old, still playing in this game. All my teammates are all young up-and-comers, and then there's me. And so just trying to keep in there with them, and they're not giving me no easy rounds. They're not taking my age into factor. If you want to be in there, you want to train with them, you're going to put the work in that they're putting in. So I'm getting pushed every day to new levels. And, there's that old saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but in there with like Jake Peacock and Randy, they're teaching me new stuff all the time. My stand-up game, my ground game, my wrestling, my takedown defense, everything's coming to new levels. And, adding Josh Hill from Serbial champion to the mental performance side of it's been a huge factor for me. I struggled for my whole career with, all the stuff that goes into the mental side of it, and starting to work with him has definitely brought my game to a new level. And of course, Coach TJW with the sports nutrition, I can't even explain the leaps and bounds that's put into my game.
How did you and Josh link up?
I just seen him posting about his doing his work online, and not my last fight, my fight before when I fought B-Tang. I retired after that fight. I didn't think I had anything left in me. And, just going through the mental side of it, the ups and downs. And I seen a post that he had, and, it said, I felt like I had a lot left in me. So I just hit him up and we got to work and did a bunch of sessions, and it just turns out the stuff that I was going through is stuff that everybody goes through. And I found ways to get over the barriers and break through them. And now my game's on a whole new level, and I'm coming back better than I ever was before.
We still got a lot of time before the fight. Has the weight cut, has that process started now, or will that happen sort of closer to fight time?
Yeah. I'm always cutting weight about 8 weeks out. I start going into deficiency and up in the training and getting the weight down. And so, I do it slow and steady. I'm not going to do nothing crazy 2 days before the fight or a week out, be scrambling about my weight. I'm a professional. I got a professional team behind me. I got all the coaches just tell me what to do at what times. And I take all the guesswork out. Like, it's expensive. It costs money, but it's worth it to achieve my goals and chase my dreams of getting the unified 155 belt back.
Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
Jake Peacock, Randy Chung, and Shane Ball from Dynamis.
How's this fight playing out? How do you envision it going down on September 23rd?
There's a few ways I see it going down. My team wants me to be a professional in this fight and not playing to his game and get into that dog fight, be strategic and not playing to his game and fight his fight. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to listen to my coaches and do what I do. But when you get in there and the heat under the fire and the exchanges happen, I could see this turning into a dog fight, another fight similar to me and Damaris had, a fight of the night performance, fight of the year candidate. And deep down in my heart, that's what I want. But I'm going to listen to my coaches and follow the game plan and stick to the game plan.
You talked about being a bit rejuvenated, right? Especially after that last win. What does the future look like beyond this fight? Not looking past Tom, but I'm sure you've had an idea of how much longer you want to keep fighting. Sort of anything you can peel back the curtain a little bit as far as what's left in your career here.
Definitely got a few fights left in me. I want to stay active with Unified. And I went inactive a few years ago when I was the champ, and the belt got taken away from me for being inactive. So no one actually beat me and took my belt from me. So, in my heart, in my mind, I'm still the 155 champ. And before my career's done, I want to get that gold wrapped around my waist again before I hang it up.
Talked all about fighting. What are some of your hobbies outside of fighting? I don't know if you watch any other sports, or you playing any video games, or what do you get up to when you get that little bit of free time?
To me, there is no other sports. When I do get a chance to have some free time, it's all relaxation and spending time with my son, BB.
Cool. Okay. And I imagine you have a day job on top of this. What do you do for a living?
I work a night shift at Fresh Start Recovery. I work midnight till 8 in the morning. So, I work full-time, train full-time single dad, do all my own grocery shopping, all my own cooking, all my own cleaning, and just getting her done.
Good for you, man. So how has that been, working nights and then trying to train? I guess you train what, I would imagine before you work, or how does that work out?
Yeah, I do. I train in the morning 3 times a week right after I get off work. So I'll get off work and I'll go hit pads with Jake or go do strength and conditioning with Kenny. And then my nighttime training is usually 6 to 8. And then luckily at my work, I'm blessed. They got a full workout facility there, and I get to take a half hour, 45 minutes and get some extra work in when I'm at work every night.
That's great, man. We're looking forward to it. It is Unified MMA 46, September 23rd. You can't miss it. It's on UFC Fight Pass. Tim, this was awesome. Just remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media. And if you got any sponsors or shout outs, I'll give you the last word.
Shady Time MMA on Instagram and Tim Shady on Facebook. Shout out, first and foremost, I put God first in everything in my life. So by the grace of God, I'm here today and have a second chance at life and able to do things I do. So number one is God. My fight team at United AFC, all my training partners putting in the work with me. Thank you. Special shout out to Jake Peacock, taking unbelievable coach, taking my game to a whole new level. He put so much time into this team and his dedication to this team. Thank you, Jake. All the members at Dynamis Kickboxing, the training partners, just the normal family members, everyone's a part of Dynamis. Randy Chung at Octagon, BJJ, his brother Walton, and all the coaches there, Colby, and all the teammates there. Good luck to the guys competing in World Masters in Vegas this weekend. Kenny DeSoul, like I said, at DeSoul Strength and Conditioning. Coach TJW, Josh Hill at Cerebral Champion. Cree from Grounded Wellness, my massage therapist. Thank you for all the work you do for me. My number one sponsor since day one, JJ Bunks from JPB Inc. He's supported me since 2006, always in my corner, always what do I need? He's hooking me up, helping me out. All my friends, family, and fans, all my supporters, everyone who's been in my corner since day one, I thank you guys so much. Fresh Start Recovery Center, big shout out to them. And my home team, my dad, my sister, and my son, BB. So much goes on behind the scenes at home to make all this stuff happen. And just a shout out, letting everyone to know today is actually Overdose Awareness Day. If anyone's struggling with addiction or any kind of depression or anything, reach out. There's lots of help out there, and there's a better life available for you. You don't have to go through this alone.